Good morning, students. In previous lecture, we have learned about Bethes formula. This Bethes formula is used for high-speed electrons. Now, today we are going to know about range energy relations. Today's topic is range energy relations. Range energy relations. In the year 1910, Geiger has given the relation for range energy for alpha particles. For alpha particles in air. So today's concept is range energy relations. Geiger has given range energy relation in the year 1930 for alpha particles in air, and he has given range energy relation as R. Here R represents the range. And he has given the range energy relation as R is equal to 0.00318 e to the power of 3 by 2. Here E represents the energy, meters. Okay, so Geiger has given the relation between range and energy as R is equal to 0.00318 into e power 3 by 2 meters. Here E we have measured in MeV. Now, again after Geiger has given the relation between range energy, then after the two more scientists, Brockbeck and R. Wilson, discovered range energy relation for protons from few mega electron volt to about 200 mega electron volt, and they has given range energy relation as. Okay, so after Geiger relation, two more scientists have given the relation between range and energy. Who are they? Brockbeck. After Geiger, Brockbeck and Wilson has given the relation between range and energy, and they have related range and energy by the equation R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.8 meters. And consider this as equation number 2. Here the energy is below 2 mega electron volt. The exponent is close to 1.8. That means if the energy is below, here the energy, whatever energy we will consider, if the energy is below 2 MeV, then the exponent will be 1.5, and the range energy relation become R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.5 meters. That means they has given the relation between range and energy for the protons, which ranges from few mega electron volt to 200 mega electron volt. So below 2 MeV, so the exponent becomes 1.5. Okay, so above 2 MeV, we are going to use R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.8 meters. So below 2 MeV, so the range energy relation according to Brockbeck and R. Wilson is R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.5 meters. So these are the two relations according to Geiger and Brobeck and R. Wilson. Now, this for alpha particles, Geiger has given the relation between range and energy for alpha particles, whereas Brobeck and R. Wilson has given the range energy relation for protons. For protons. Okay, whereas Geiger has given the relation for energy and range and energy for alpha particles, whereas Brobeck and R. Wilson has given the relation between range and energy for protons. Now, the range for protons and for alpha particles traveling with same velocity v in air at STP are related as, okay, if you assume both the alpha particles as well as protons both are traveling with same velocity in standard temperature pressure, then the range, and they are related as Rp is equal to 1.0072 and R alpha is equal to 0.003 meters. Okay, if you assume, that means we are considering the ranges for proton and alpha particle. Okay, proton and ranges for proton and alpha particle. If you assume both proton and alpha particles are traveling with protons and alpha particles are traveling with same velocity in air, then the ranges for proton and the alpha particle is given as, so for proton Rp is equal to 1.0072 meters, whereas range for alpha particle is 0.003 meters. Next, after these two, that means Geiger and Brobeck and R. Wilson, then in the year 1911, okay, again Geiger and Nuttall have proposed a relation between half-life of alpha emitter and the range of alpha particle, and they have showed that the logarithmic of range in air of alpha particle with plotted against the corresponding values of logarithm of disintegration constant for a variation radioactive element and approximately a straight line. Okay, so this, after these two inventions, again the Geiger and Nuttall has given the relation for alpha particles against the logarithmic of range. That means simply we can say that in the year 1911, Geiger and Nuttall has given the relation, and they have considered along the x-axis, they have considered the logarithm of r, okay, and they have considered the along the y-axis, they have considered the along the y-axis, we are going to take logarithm of disintegration. The logarithm of disintegration is denoted by log lambda. Okay, so according to them, if you consider any element, okay, as the range increases, okay, the disintegration also increases. And if you, they have considered the three different elements like uranium, and they have observed the straight line, thorium and actinium. Okay, they have considered three different elements: uranium, thorium and actinium. So for three different elements, they have observed the straight line. So this law is nothing but Geiger-Nuttall law. Okay. So that means if you plot logarithm of range along the x-axis and logarithm of disintegration for any element, if you get a straight line, then that element is going to obey the Geiger and Nuttall law. And according to them they have given as log lambda is equal to A log R plus B. Okay, they have termed as this expression is termed as Geiger-Newton law. Geiger-Newton law. Okay, Geiger-Newton law is given by log lambda is equal to A log R plus B. Here A is constant which have same value for each of the 3 radioactive elements or 3 radioactive series. The constant B has different values for different series. Okay, here A, this A is constant, B is also constant. But the main difference between A and B constant is here this constant is same for all the 3 radioactive elements like uranium, thorium and actinium. Whereas this B, this constant changes for different elements. So this constant B is different for uranium and it will be different for thorium and actinium. Whereas A is same for all the 3 elements. Now Geiger-Newton law in terms of energy and disintegration constant is given by this Geiger-Newton law in terms of range. If you want to consider Geiger-Newton law in terms of energy, then it is given by log lambda is equal to 3 by 2 A log E naught plus B. Okay. This is the equation which represents Geiger-Newton law for range. Whereas if you want to represent Geiger-Newton law for energy, then it is given by log lambda is equal to 3 by 2 A log E naught plus B. Here E naught is energy, whereas here R is range. So this is about the range energy relation. Once again I am going to repeat more. Today we have learned about range energy relations. Okay, first coming to range energy relation, we have considered a physicist, that is Geiger. In the year 1910, he has given the range energy relation for alpha particle and he has termed it as R is equal to, according to him, the range energy relation is expressed as R is equal to 0.00318 e power 3 by 2. Okay. Then after him, Brobeck and R. Wilson has given again the relations for range and energy for protons. Okay. So according to them, they have defined R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.8. This range energy relation exists between few MeV to 200 MeV. So below 2 MeV, what will be the range energy relation? The range energy relation below 2 MeV is given by R is equal to E by 9.3 whole power 1.5 meters. Okay, then if you assume if both protons and alpha particles are traveling with same velocity in A, then range of proton and range of alpha particle is given as range of proton is 1.0072, whereas range of alpha particle is 0.003 meters. Okay, here also meters only. Then after this, again in the year 1911, Geiger and Newton, they have considered 3 different types of radioactive series and they have measured experimentally by considering the logarithmic of range and logarithmic of disintegration of it, and they have observed the straight line. So if any element, for any element, if you consider the range of that element and its disintegration constant, then if we will get a straight line, then we are going to say that that element obeys the Geiger-Newton law. So according to them, the range relation is given by log alpha is equal to A log R plus B. Okay, this is Geiger-Newton law for range. Okay, one more Geiger-Newton law for energy is given by log lambda is equal to 3 by 2 A log E naught. Here E naught represents the energy plus B. And one more thing, according to Geiger and Newton, they have given two different constants, whereas this A is constant and B is also constant. Whereas this constant is same for uranium, thorium and actinium, whereas B constant changes from one element to another element. Okay, so this constant is different for uranium, thorium and actinium. So this is about the range energy relation. Next we are going to know about stopping power. Next topic we are going to cover is stopping power. Next we are going to know about stopping power. Stopping power. So stopping power is nothing but energy lost by a particle in passing through a unit length of medium. Okay. So for example, if you consider any material or observer. So if you instant energy, so based on the instant energy, it will penetrate. Okay, that means the instant energy penetrate into the material. That means this radiation or instant energy will have multiple collisions with the particles or atoms present inside the material. So when this instant energy collides with the different particles in the material, so after penetrating through certain distance, okay, it will lost energy and comes to 0. Okay, so from here to here, okay, that means here in stopping power we are going to calculate how much energy lost. Okay, how much energy lost per unit length of the material or observer. That energy lost is nothing but stopping power. So once again I am repeating, stopping power is defined as energy lost by a particle. Energy lost by a particle in passing through a unit length of medium or material. In passing through a material or medium or observer, anything you can call. Okay, so that means while the particle or any type of radiation when passes through the material, so it will lose some energy while penetrating into the medium or material. So that energy lost is nothing but stopping power. Energy lost by a particle in passing through a unit length of material. So if you calculate the energy lost per unit length of material, then by applying integration for that you are going to calculate for the whole medium or whole material. Now this stopping power is proportional to number of ion pairs produced by the particle per unit length of the medium. So this stopping power is always a stopping power according to Bethe. It is denoted by minus dE by dx. Okay, here dE by dx represents energy lost by a particle or a photon, okay, or a proton. So the energy lost is given by minus dE by dx. Here minus represents the loss in energy. So minus dE by dx represents the stopping power or energy lost. This directly proportional to number of ion pairs produced by the particle. Okay, number of ion pairs produced by the particle. So here N represents the number of I represents ion pairs. Okay, Ni represents number of ion pairs produced by the particle per unit length of medium, because here also we have considered energy lost per unit length. Similarly, we are considering per unit length how many number of particles have been generated and how much energy is lost. So this stopping power is always directly proportional to number of ion pairs produced by the particle, and is also proportional to average energy spent in each ionization event, and this stopping power is also proportional to average energy. Okay, here average energy is represented with EA. A represents average, E represents energy. So this stopping power is also proportional to average energy spent for each ionization. Here ionization is nothing but splitting of particle. So for each splitting, how much energy is lost. So this stopping power is also directly proportional to average energy spent for ionization for particle or each event. Now, as the stopping power is proportional for number of ion pairs as well as average energy, we can write it as minus dE by dx, directly proportional to NiEA, because both are proportional to this term. So simply we can write it as minus dE by dx proportional to NiEA. Now I am going to remove this proportionality. Okay, so if you want to remove this proportionality, we have to consider constant, which is given by minus dE by dx is equal to, I am going to consider k as proportionality constant, NiEA. So I think everybody clear what is Ni and Ea. Here Ni represents number of ion pairs. Okay, here Ni represents number of ion pairs produced by the particle. Ion pairs. And Ea represents average energy. Average energy lost per each ionization event. So both parameters are proportional to stopping power. So simply we are writing minus dE by dx directly proportional to NiEA, and for the next we are going to remove this proportionality. So for that we are considering proportionality constant, which is represented by k. So minus dE by dx is equal to k NiEA. Okay. So the stopping power finally denoted by minus dE by dx is equal to k NiEA. K NiEA. Now here we can also define Ni is also called as specific ionization, and Ea is the average energy lost in each ionization event. Now the specific ionization Ni was studied by Bragg in a systematic experiment for alpha particles all along their path, and we are going to consider a figure which represents specific ionization increases as the alpha particles shows down and becomes maximum when it stops in the medium and is finally converted into helium atom. So overall about the specific ionization was particularly studied by Bragg. So according to Bragg, he has given the relation between specific ionization whose units are arbitrary constants and alpha particles, and how the distance from the source varies. So he has considered a picture according to him. Specific ionization along the y-axis. Specific ionization he has considered along y-axis, and along the x-axis he has considered the distance from the source. Distance from the source. Distance from source. And the values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So the distance from the source and specific ionization. Now he has observed that the specific ionization increases as the alpha particle shows down, and according to him he has given the relation like this. And he has observed that the specific ionization increases as the alpha particles shows down and becomes maximum when it stops. So when it is going to stop, the specific ionization becomes maximum. And finally, it is going to convert into helium atom. So this is the explanation regarding to Bragg's specific ionization curve, or simply we can call this curve as Bragg's specific ionization curve. Now the average energy lost by the particle while propagating into the material, and here we are considering EA, that means average energy for the production of each ion pair, and it will be equal to ionization potential of the atom. Now if you assume if the stopping power is measured in relation to the specific ionization and ionization potential, then the constant coefficient K can be evaluated. So if you know all these parameters, definitely you are going to evaluate this constant coefficient, this K proportionality constant or constant coefficient. Constant coefficient. So we are going to evaluate if all these parameters are known, like ion pair production and average energy is known, as well as the stopping power is known. Then you are going to calculate constant coefficient. And it is found that this coefficient varies between 1.6 to 1.8 for different gases. For different gases, they have calculated the energy lost and the number of ion pair production, and their average energy, and they have calculated the constant coefficient or proportional constant for different gases, and they have observed that this constant coefficient generally ranges between 1.6 to 1.8 for many gases or different gases. Now a relation for the stopping power of non-relativistics heavy particles is given by the equation minus dE by dx is equal to 4 pi z square. This equation you know from the Bohr's as well as Bethes formula. Okay, So minus dE by dx is equal to 4 pi z square E square by mv square nz log of 2mv square or 2mv square by I. So here z is nothing but charge, okay, and v is the velocity of heavy particle. Now the stopping power, which is proportional to specific ionization. So here stopping power is denoted by dE by dx is the stopping power. This stopping power directly proportional to specific ionization. And it is shown to be related with z square by v square. So this is about the stopping power.